Very nice design. What do you call it?
The Trubble Bubble, sir.
Trouble Bubble.
Yes, sir. Trubble Bubble.
I love it. What would you call this weapon?
The, Rudy Tooty Aimin' Shooty?
Perfect.
I'm walkie and talkie. Are you walkie and talkie?
Okay, people, today let's take a quick look at the Hasbro G.I.Joe Classified Series Pulse exclusive Tele-Viper and Cobra Flight Pod. Or, as we dubbed it in the last Fwoosh cast, the Trubble Bubble. Give me trouble and make it bubble. It's a Trubble Bubble. Now, when it comes to GIJoe, I like the military aspect. I mean, that's the basis, right? That is the core concept. But man, do I love the sci-fi elements there too. I love it when it gets a little wacky. And the Trubble Bubble fits that bill perfectly. It's silly, but it's still sleek and sexy. Looking at the package, you get a very beautiful picture of Trubble Bubble, Trubble Bubble, Trubble Bubble, Trubble Bubble, Trubble Bubble, Trubble Bubble, all over a jungle type. Get a look at the accessories, and I love this shot. That is a fantastic picture of the Tele-Viper. All kinds of logos down here, and then there's your warning. Choking hazard, small parts. Well, okay, if you can fit a Trubble Bubble in your mouth. On the side, there's another picture, 79, and oh, I guess this is how they're doing the file card system now. I hadn't got one with the QR code on the end. Let's see how this works. Oh, it takes you to the Hasbro shop. It doesn't even take you to Pulse, and when you click on this, oh, where to buy? Where to buy? We can't find any online retailers for this product. It's your exclusive product. And as far as the file card goes, man, those are tiny. On the back, here's everything included. There is the stats again. Warning, small parts. Man, he's looking badass. On the top, GIJoe Classified Series logo. On bottom, barcode legalese. Let's get this open. A lot of space between the figure and the Trubble Bubble, but I don't mind when it's that good looking. What else? We got it. Oh, big box. We got flavor packets. Oh, lots of stuff in this bag. This is going on my wall. Definitely. Some assembly required. I definitely know where the turbines go. It goes in the back. There's two holes, and it looks like that one's smaller than that one, so you can't get it upside down. It doesn't go together. It only goes one way, and ooh, that's secure. This hose, it seems very vehicular-like, you know, and there's even these pegs that are very deceiving. You would think they would go there, but no. This actually goes to the Tele-Viper's backpack and then runs to his t-shirt cannon gun. Boop. And then these are labeled R2 and L1, which makes you think, oh, the R goes on the right, but this shape is very specific. The round cutouts on bottom and then the squared off one is on top. And if I match that up with this, that doesn't go in there. It goes over here and plugs in. So it means right when you're facing it. R is over there, L goes over here. And of course, I tried to put it in upside down. There we go. The missiles mount onto those. Yeah, okay. I guess to launch them, you got to pull that off and put that there. The big blaster has a socket for this ball joint on the bottom of the control arm. I've also already been warned that that probably needs to be heated up. It's a very, very tight fit. You know what that means? We break out the Johnny Storm Heatmaster 5000. Let's see how that does. Oh yeah, easy peasy. Gonna let that cool down a bit. I mean, it's nice, it stays in position, but I figure it's gonna get tighter here in a minute. But while that's happening, let's look at the Tele-Viper. Purple isn't the highest on my list to use on figures, but here, the way it plays with the blue and the blacks, it doesn't stand out. It blends very, very nicely. Because I have the chest gear going all the way around to the back, have the pouches on the belt, have this on the wrist, have this on the other wrist, and then down around the boots. Okay, now that I have the camera kind of far away, it does kind of lose detail when you get back here. It blends a little too well. But he doesn't care, he's a Tele-Viper, look at that. I do dig the way this metal gear solid piece comes up and around. I love how it frames his face. It changes it up a little bit. You know, it's distinct compared to a lot of other troopers and Cobras and soldiers and such. A lot of nice detail up there. Same goes with the vest with this quilted material and these straps coming across that are painted black and the ones that go under the arm. 2 pouches for the pecs, 2 pouches for the biceps, 2 pouches for the hips, 2 pouches for the thighs. This guy carries a lot of snacks and bubble gum and breath mints, Tic Tacs. Oh, because he's got 2 back pockets too. Wallet, and receipts, because that's what I carry in my back pocket, is receipts. Have some black clasps on the purple part of the boot where you can just snap the gear on, get up and go. Have a wristwatch on the left, and then a radio or some kind of device here on the belt. But this is the important one. I love that it looks like a screen, like the Predator countdown, about to self-destruct. Begin with the techie bits on the assembly itself. And of course there's a Cobra logo on the shoulder. Beyond those specific fine details, it's really just a bodysuit between the short sleeve blue shirt and then the wrist apparatus. The rest is just pants. There's a seam line, there's a slight texture to the whole thing, but very plain, but not, you know? It's a nice contradiction to the details of the vest and the helmet and on the wrists. There's a simplicity, almost an elegance. Like, this is kind of a grunt, but then he has a very specialized job. And then bringing the Trubble Bubble back, it's also packed with all kinds of detail. Have this and this and these going up and down, some kind of vent exhaust thing. And again, I don't know what those are. There's extra detail thrown in there. Maybe that's chaff. Danger. Hot exhaust. Looks like some kind of latch on bottom with all these bolts around it. Techie detail here on the sides. Yeah, I think that's the same. Yeah, it's the same on both. Ain't no way this thing took down 3 Sky Strikers, though. Have the top of the turbines looking cool, and then the bottom. What did I just throw? Oh, look at that. It's not the tightest fit. Then the bottom doesn't have, well, it has the outer exhaust thing, but inside you can just see the hinge for these fin things. And at first I thought, wouldn't they turn this way while you're flying through and like a rudder? But then I realized the exhaust coming out, you point this way and you blast that way. What's the forward propulsion? Is it like this? Oh, I guess that's the reason for the canopy, right? To protect. That's why it's open here. If you're flying this way, the wind would just hit you right in the face. But if it's like this, that makes sense for this to come down and you're actually looking out through. Oh, that's the reason for the targeting system being right here, because you're looking out this way. Robo slowly knows. Now that the gun's cooled off, it's very secure and it has some tilt to it and here and turning, and it's not going to just come off when you pull on it. This arm does come down and oh, there's more targeting and more red kind of old school graphics. Air brakes? Yeah, like this thing has brakes. This is more. There's even inside detail. There's some green screens with some graphics of some kind and a radar. How are you going to see that when you're sitting up here? You got to look down for the radar, and a subwoofer and another inlaid speaker. It looks like a 6x9. There's an intake on this side, but not this one. Little bit of asymmetry. It's very nice looking. Oh, the top turns too. Okay, turn. Have a seatbelt, which we'll get to after articulation on the figure, and then the canopy does close. Now, I've noticed on mine, this tab goes down into the body. This one is not aligned. And if I push it in a little bit to get it in there, it almost acts like it's crooked and doesn't want to go down in it. It doesn't snap at all. This one holds it shut for the most part, but standard GIJoe articulation for the Tele-Viper. There is a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck with a ball going down into the body. Look up and shift forward and look down. Some tilt, that collar comes up and this headgear goes down. So it's kind of steer left, steer right. Butterfly joint goes forward and back. Pin coming out to the shoulder rotates all the way around, and then the hinge goes up to there. Swivel at the bicep. Double elbow, not a lot to get in the way. Goes all the way up. That is a separate piece. So that's a clean arm going all the way down. And I noticed that because it's coming down over the wrist. Do I need to try to get that to slide up a little bit? Anyway, there is a swivel and then a hinge in and out. In and out on the left too. So he's got trigger finger hands, but he does fly the Trubble Bubble. So I'll forgive it this one time. Hinge mid-torso with a ball going down into the waist. When I got it out of the package, I thought that vest is going to get in the way of articulation. One, the arms coming down, but that's not true. The arms do come down, but two, the torso articulation. There is a rubberiness to it, so you can crunch and then the ball gets you over a little bit. A lot of arc back and then little tilt. Drop down to the hip, allows for this and this, and then out better than a lot of Spider-Mans. Swivel at the thigh. Double knee. Oh, that's very clean. Look how the silhouette just goes around, comes up, and he can almost kick his ass, but that's a hell of a lot of range. Swivel at the boot, hinge at the ankle goes back, forward, little gummy, front facing pin for rocker. For accessories, like I said, there is a backpack, and it is techie. It has these buttons up here, but it's also very round, very shop vacky. I guess that just adds to the vacuum aspect of the plugs in nicely into the back, and then yeah, put the gun in the hand.
You inside! Come out with your hands up!
Look at this utter badass. But because this is a troop builder, you can pop the head off, add an alternate head, and you have more troopers. I popped the thing off. I got rowdy with it. That was all me. This convinces me that I needed 2 Trubble Bubbles. That's not all. Maybe I needed 3 because there's also this head.
I am Trubble. In a bubble.
Yeah, damn. I should have got more. But then, like I said, the seatbelt system. Let's see how this works because it does open up quite a bit. I was worried about having to jam them in, but no, he's got plenty of space to work with. While I'm jerking around on the hips, I didn't have to oil them up. That's how they came in the package. Get in your car seat and you stay. Oh, I'm getting vintage Masters of the Universe vibes. Remember when you couldn't ever get that peg to go in the damn hole? I've got 3 kids, damn it, I should be able to do this. I said get in your car seat. That worked like a charm, just popped right in. Why did I get so frustrated? Get yourself a Johnny Storm 5000. You'll be feeling just fine. Now, should I heat that up? Son of a bitch still doesn't want to go. Okay, now that I have everything in place. Oh, he's even kind of holding the brake. That's totally accident. Now that I've got everything situated in place where I want it. Oh yeah, that is a winner. Look at that. There's so much going on. The gun even tilts enough to fire forward when you're in that leaning forward position. It's very bubbly, and it looks like it. I'm not quite sure I like this. This fell off on me several times, and you gotta pull it out and then put that back in. I may just glue that. There's no need for that to ever come back out. I forgot something. There's also the air mine, or at least that's what I was told it is. It deploys and then hovers in the air, just waiting for something like a Sky Striker, you know, to just run into it. Does open for some reason, I guess to work on the mine, to try to arm it or disarm it, something. Yeah, that's pretty nifty. The big thing though is it's not storable on the vehicle at all. If you connect it here and you try to land, wouldn't that be exploding it? It'd be cool if it was. Well, that would suck. Right in the hot air. There's no place to put this except here. Hold on to it. Okay, here comes the Sky Striker. Woo! Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about an extra piece at all. This is neat. But with G.I.Joe, I've gotten so used to everything being able to put on here. Although, when he's in the vehicle, you can't really use his bubble blaster. The Tele-Viper stands at about 6 1/4, and then the Trubble Bubble to the top of the bubble is about 5 3/4. Missile to missile is 4 3/4, and then about 7 3/4 from the rudder to the tip of the gun. The Tele-Viper's standard size when compared to other Cobra troopers. But then here's what he looks like taking on Snake Eyes and Roadblock hand to hand. But he doesn't have to take them on hand to hand. He's got the Trubble Bubble, and here is that compared to the Baroness cycle, whatever this thing's called. Not a bad size next to the Ram. Actually shares a color scheme with the Star Wars Mandalorian speeder bike. And it kind of blows my mind that I've gotten 2 vehicles in the past couple of months with clear canopies. Here's the Marvel Legends Hawkeye Sky Cycle. Taking off the canopy is just a hinge. You just pop it out of the little hook thing right there. The tabs are 70 thousandths, and that's the same on both sides. Peg hole on this side is 80 thousandths, but the one on this side is 70 thousandths, and you can see a clear difference. That one is wider. Fits just fine in that one. So the problem is that hole. Just do a little bit of shaving there. Wait, let's check this. 220, 200. That's a problem too, because that is 200 and that is 200. All I need is, what, 20 thousandths? Oh, I did it. It still pops out because the canopy is wide. Okay, a little more carving to that hole, some heat to the canopy, and I can snap in both sides. Now that that's centered and straight and everything, I'm realizing that the tampo here is printed off to the side a little bit, and there's nothing I can do about that. So at the end of the day, when I usually put these in some kind of action pose, I realize This doesn't come with a stand, and there's no hole for a stand. It would be amazing to be able to get this up off the ground a little bit, you know, above your display, and it has no problem standing with that on the shelf, but that's just sitting on the shelf, you know? I may have to Dremel a hole or make a clip thing for the back or something. Or just throw in one of my old unused Mezco stands, because those are nice and tight and stiff, and the clip goes between the turbine and the bubble. Now I just need a G.I.Joe space that has this much room for it. Other than that, oh man, I love this thing. Yes, it has its quirks. It has some oddballness going on, but the positives far outweigh the negatives. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't make me this happy, but it does. Now the big problem is Pulse getting these back in stock, because that needs to happen ASAP. For the people who missed out, the people who skipped, who wanted to see how this turned out. For the people like me who only grabbed one thinking, that's all I need. Oh, oops, maybe I need 2. Maybe I need 3. Maybe I need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, maybe 2. Flank each side. Trubble Bubbles are really super high on the iconic list, and it just makes me want more. I've kind of gotten behind on buying GIJoe. I've seen some at the store, and I thought, oh man, I've got other stuff to buy at the moment. But it's stuff like this that rekindles that fire, that brings GIJoe Classified Series back around to the forefront for me. I need to go back and get the scrap iron and the copperhead and open up rock and roll and actually put Shipwreck on video, because it's all amazing. This line, even if you're not into Joe itself, it's still a kick-ass action figure line. That's what it comes down to. The figures are amazing. They'll make you want to know more about the franchise. And isn't that the point of collectibles? Isn't that the point of marketing? Get more out there, get you sucked in, make you buy some more stuff. Consumers.
Soldier, let me ask you, what's this explosive device? The whammy-kablammy!